Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. We are here. We are here. Another beautiful week of the markets. Good morning, Jade, Jeff Scott, Hammer. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you. We got the floating octopus this morning. The floating octopus. Hey, Zeus. Good morning to you. Mammon. Good morning. Bill Boyle. Good morning to you. Victor. No, Victor. We are for everybody, especially beginners. SM, good morning. A user, good morning. 8-figure with the first floating octopus. Powder with the floating octopus. Let's go, my powder. Josie, make sure TAP, everybody. TAP, Victor and SM over there on YouTube. Make sure we're tippity-tappity screen, okay? Good morning. Thank you, Powder, for the heart me. Get your heart me's in. Get your heart me's in. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Shelly Stringer. Thank you, Shelly. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. User, thank you so much for the You're Awesome, the GOAT, and the Heart Me. Good morning, Hadrian Rodriguez. Get the tappers going. Spad, good morning. Good morning, Spad. JDM with the ice cream cone. Midwest. Mr. Dave still at the beach. Where is Mr. Dave? Did Mr. Dave go to the moon? Mr. Dave may be stuck on the moon, my beauties. Good morning, my beautiful traders. Good morning, Akeem the Dream. How are you, my friend? Good morning. Girl Mom, Gurpreet Singh, M. Mohibi. Good morning, everybody. Marcus with the heart me is. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, bump. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Are we ready for another week in the market? We are at 4,000 likes. As soon as we get to 10,000 likes, we will get started. The choice is yours. The longer we take to get to 10,000, the longer we wait. I have $350 buying power. Where does it go this morning? Probably into somebody else's hands. Whoa, JJ Challenger. Good morning. Good morning, KK. How are you? 8-figure with the heart me. Yes. Oh, they're tapping now. Oh, they're tapping now. You know, we got to wake. We got to get the gooeys out of our eyes, everybody. Shelly Stringer with the floating octopus. Bump, 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 bump. All right. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. My name is Voss. All we ask that you do is tap the screen, share the live. All right. And donate when you can. The donations are so important for the ALGO. Let's get to work. We always start with Miss Market. We are in a bearish neutral state. We are in a bullish position too. Here to the upside, we are going to map out this double top up here, all right, and that base. That's a crucial base up there on the SPY, all right? Watch that base as we come down the board. We're going to pull this out. We always pull it out to the execution time frame. We got room up to 673. 673 here on Miss Market. Remember, 70% of all new highs fail. 70% of all highs fail. 673 on Miss Market to the upside here on SPY. Now, coming back to the downside, under 668.77, you will have room down to 665 on Miss Market. So let's go. Tesla, we are in a narrow state. Unfortunately, my beauties, we are in position 2 to the upside already here on Tesla. We also got the 5-minute 200 waiting for us right there at 442. Remember, we talked about this over the weekend, okay? 442 on Tesla. Watch that first level of resistance. You also got support right underneath you. Remember the last time we had two 200s on Tesla? One below us, one above us. Remember, we were clanging and banging for about 10 minutes? That was about 3-4 weeks ago. Well, that's what you got here again on the Tesla Rooney. We also got the hourly 20 in the way on Miss Tesla. Let's pull it back to the execution time frame. We got room up to 442, all right, 443 area. But you want to get over 443 with a retest, and then you have room up to 452 on Tesla. Anything under 438.88 under this pivot point here with a retest, you're coming back down to 430 on Tesla. Now, if we get under 422.97 under the whip zone, you're coming back down to 394. Remember, this is not financial investment or tax advice. This is for education purposes only. And you must trade at your own risk. Let's head over to dem Qs. The Qs right now, we are in a neutral state, bearish neutral state, bullish position too. You will be choppy this morning at the open, my beauties. And the reason that is because of the state and because of our position, all right? So 609, 610 will be your level of resistance there on the Qs, all right? As we come back down the board here on them Qs, under 602.72, we have room back down to 601.50. 601.50. Remember your 50% retracement level. You will be coming back, okay? Right around here, 607 on the Qs. Mr. Dave, there he is. There he is. He's here, everybody. Have no fear. With the $1.99 super chat. We got 3 floating octopuses off the board. We got to hammer the rest of those 7, everybody. Hit those floating octopuses. Let's go. Let's go. AMD. AMD, you are in a bearish neutral state here on AMD. So whatever's up will be coming back. You're not going to the moon, okay? So relax, everybody. We're not going to the moon. We are in a bearish neutral state. I warned you now, all right? Where are we at here on AMD? 222.23. If this doesn't scream a short, I don't know what does. So you are way up there in position 3 in a, what kind of state, everybody? Bearish neutral state, all right, on AMD. Way up there, 222. We will be coming back. I have AMD on watch for a short at the open. I want to put your 50% retracement level in here. I'll tell you where I'll take this back to. What? What about it's going up? I'm going to get rich. We're going to the moon. No, you're not. 50% retracement level is $200. Yes, Coffee Black every morning, Monday through Sunday. 250% retracement level on AMD. Next. Good morning, my beauties, my YouTubers. I love you over there. If you're here for the first time, hit that follow button. Mr. Dave with the floating octopi. Mr. Dave, yes, Cameron, Jessica, Piloch, Hammer. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you. Shelly Stringer, thank you. Sue Felicia, thank you so much. Apple. Paulo at the Night Store. What position are we in? 1. What state are we in here on Apple? We are in a narrow state on the Apple Rooney. All right, we're going to mark these out, so stand by, everybody. Oh, my God, Voss, your levels are so great. I know. I know. All right, hold on, everybody. Here we go. We're going to pull this out. We got room on Apple up to 259. 259 on Apple to the upside in this narrow state. Back under the whip zone. We got to get under 257. 257.35. We have room back down to 257. Hold number on Apple. Yes. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. I love you, brother. Good to see you. Make sure we hit that follow button over there on the tubes, okay? Love you all. PLUG, the penny stocks. This must be on the scanners. How did I know this was a penny stock? How did I know this was a penny stock, everybody? Huh? Tell me how I knew. Right now, we are in a neutral state here on Plug. We are in position 2 to the upside. Those scanners must be going off on Plug. The low float, the relative volume. All right? All right, so what do we got here? You're neutral. You got room up to 450. All right, that's going to be your $0.50 are very important penny stocks. 450. What you need to know is your 50% retracement level right here, right around 410. You got to come back to 410 and hold that for a possible room to the upside. Under 410, the party's over on Plug. What else are we looking at? Shelly Stringer with the octopus. Thank you, everybody. We achieved the first goal with the octopi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. The roses are on the board. How many of you are going to chase AMD today and lose? Oh, they're going to chase it, VIP. Welcome to all our new VIP members. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulate all our new VIP members from the weekend. All right, MU. I'm sure this has a gap up too, right? October Candy. MU up there at 198.20. We are way up there in position 3. Okay, now I want you to look at your daily here. Now, folks, look at this. Okay, where do you think you're going? Huh? Where do you think you're going? If you think you're going to the moon, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. All right? You have room back down to 194. Mark this number down. The Golden Goose, we got MU and AMD on watch for a possible short at the open. 194 retracement, okay? Still remains. What else are we looking at? Fubo TV. That's still around? Fubo TV? Penny stock? Fubo TV. Who the hell has Fubo TV? We are in a neutral state on Fubo. We are in position 2 to the upside here on a Fubo. Let's mark this out. You got room up to 405, 407, fighting for a few pennies here. Under 395, you have room down to 392. I mean, we're fighting for cents here, folks. Okay, on Fubo. What else are we looking at? Reddit. Listen, I'll give you the quarter, all right? Let's teach you how to trade real stocks. I'll give you the quarter. Right now, we are in a narrow state on Reddit. We are in position 1 to the upside on Reddit. All right? We're going to mark out our major support and a resistance. All right, here we go on Reddit. We have room up to 211.42. First stop above 211.42 with a retest. We have room up to 214 here on Reddit. Back under 206, get under the whole number, and then you have room down to 205.37 here on Reddit. And we are in a narrow state on Reddit, position 1. Google. The Googs. Google, we are in a narrow state. We are in the whip zone. The first one of the day. Here we go, everybody. Alerts on a Google. Let's put in our levels. 5 minute, nice and tight, looks good. We got Google on watch with AMD and MU. Google is on watch, my beauties. Okay, mark that down. All right, Google above 246.66. We have room up to 247.61. Above 247.61 with a retest, we have room up to 250 here on Google. Narrow state in the whip zone. That's where our best plays come out of. Under 244.98, we have room down to 243. On the Google-roonies. Hello, Terry. Good to see you. What broker? You want to look for a direct access routing broker, okay, Terry? Like a Cobra, a Lightspeed, interactive brokers. UNH. Rosh. What's up, Rosh? Let's say Rosh or Rash. All right, UNH. Rosh or Rash? Could be Rash. We are in a neutral state. We are in the whip zone on UNH. Yes, we're going to mark out our major support and resistance. All right, UNH above 361.71. We have room up to 365. Over 365 with a retest, you have room up to 368 here on UNH. Under 359, we want to get under the whole number. Remember, we never want to short or go long into a whole number. So we don't want to short this into 359 because it's not going to work out well. Let's get under 359, retest it, and come back down to 354. How's that, all right? Remember, this is not financial investment or tax advice. This is for education purposes only. Breon Brooks, you'll learn all about the narrow state. You learn all about the whip zone in the VIP, where we will teach you how to trade professionally and correctly, all right? So right now, if you're guessing every day in the market, everybody, we're going to help you in that VIP, I promise you, all right? You're going to head over to the VossTrading.com. That's how you get into our VIP. One of the perks is you get live training by me every Tuesday and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay? Plus, you get access to over 65 plus hours of educational content, and we review your trades for you. Rash with the pumpkin, Cameron with the rose, Meezy, D-Beck, Sue Felicia, yes, Candy. Thank you for all those donations, everybody. Thank you, Sue Felicia. What else are we looking at? TikTok, SoFi, and then DraftKings. SoFi to the moon. But why won't you tell me for free, Voss? Because I paid $10,000 for my education, and I'm only charging you $50 a month, all right? Right now, we are in a neutral state. We are in position 2 to the upside here on SoFi. Remember my mother saying, "What are you, nuts? You can't win in the stock market. You can't win, man." All right, we got room up to 26.21. 26.21 on SoFi. Back under 25.69. You're coming back down to 25.35. If you were looking for some shorts, you want to get under the whole number, under 25. Then you're coming back down to $24. Nvidia, DraftKings first. And then we're going to hit the vids of vids. You want to know what the Yankees and the New York Giants did this weekend? Listen, guys, listen. Are you listening? Shh, listen. Do we got it? That's what they did. Right now, we are in a neutral state. We are in a bearish neutral state on DraftKings. We are in position 2 to the upside on DraftKings. We got to find major resistance because of the state. You're coming back on this, my beauties. All right, we are coming back on this, my beauties. So on DraftKings right now, look at that bearish neutral state. This is the novice gap we have going on right now. Let me show you. This is what we call the novice gap. All right. People say, oh my God, we're going to the moon. No, you're not. You're pulling back. Okay. Because you are in a bearish neutral state on DraftKings. Right here is your 50% retracement level, right around 35.70. 35.70. Okay. You have room up to this major resistance point here, 36.44. But I will look more this way, okay, than I would that way at the open on DraftKings. All right. You can thank me later. Sonny Milano, hello. Gurpreet Bhujan. Did I say that right, Gurpreet? Gurpreet Bhujan. We are in a narrow state, neutral state on MU. Gurpreet, you know what to do. You're way up there, right? 50% retracement is right here around 193. Mark that down, 193. So we want to see if we can hold this for another move to the upside on MU. But first, it's pulling back. Too bad we can't play music over there on YouTube. NQ. Worth $1 billion over there, and they won't pay for music rights. You believe that? Cheap bastards. All right, let's see what we got here on NQ. NQ to the moon, to the moon. All right, NQ, we got to get back over 25, 241.50, but I wouldn't take the bait because we are starting to get into a wide state. So look for the pullback here on NQ. You got room under this pivot here, back down to 25, 128 hold number, and then 25, 88 hold number, okay? Mark these levels down on NQ. Don't take the bait that way, folks. Thomas Shelby. Hello, my Thomas. How are you? I heard you guys are coming back with a new season. I had to stop watching that show because first of all, I couldn't see anything that was on the screen. It was always so dark, and I could never understand what the hell they were talking about. I was like, what'd they say? What'd they say? What'd they say? PLTR. You guys know what show I'm talking about? Peaky Blinders. Couldn't understand a word they were saying in that show. And then you had to put your TV screen on the brightest setting. Right now, we are in a neutral state. We are in position 1 to the upside. Whoa, good thing for that 200, so you guys won't go long on it. Oh, yes, the 15-minute 200. There she is to the moon. Let me mark these out for my beautiful traders. All right, we got room up to 180.44 and then 182 on PLTR. Look at your state, okay? So don't go chase this. Under 171.45, you have room down to 169 on PLTR. Under 169 with a retest, you're coming back down to 161. Did we do Amazon yet? Did I do Amazon? No, we didn't do Amazon. Sorry, Thomas Shelby. Thomas Shelby. All right, here we go here. We are in a neutral state on Amazon. We are in the whip zone on Amazon. All right, so we got to get over that pivot. It's going to be a little whippy here on Amazon, so sit back and try not to lose your hair like I did, okay? Right here at Amazon, back over 221.58. You have room up to 224, but you got to wait. You got to wait for you to get back into a narrow state. Don't chase that to the upside. You're not going to go anywhere, okay? Back under 219, under the whole number, you have room down to 216.50. Tawanda, I'll get SPY for you, beautiful Tawanda. Don't you worry. We're going to do that right now for you, Tawanda. How's that? SPY, Miss Market to the moon. Keep TAPing, everybody. We are at 52,000 TAPs. April with the heartbeat. Thank you. Shelly Galvin with the roses. Let's hammer those roses, everybody. Bye. Bye. Bye is on fire. Katana Lim. All right, Miss Market. Tawanda, you got room up to 673. 673 here on Miss Market, okay? Back under 668.77, you're coming back to 665. All right. Remember, this is not financial investment or tax advice. This is for education purposes only. AMD, Voss, are you going to chase this long? No. Look at the state of AMD. Look at the gap. That is a novice gap to the upside. All right. Oh, man, we're not going long. He don't know what he's talking about. You will find out in about 35 minutes. All right. You got room back down to $200, 210 area. All right. So AMD has to get narrow before we think about anything long here. So as this pulls back to 210, look to see if you're narrow, then you can go for a possible play to the upside. Or a pullback to $200, and then you could go for a possible play to the upside. Under 200 with a retest, the party's over. You're coming back to 167. Boeing. Powder, how many of them are going to get nailed on the novice gap today? There's a few novice gaps today, by the way. Right now, we are in a neutral state. Yes. We are in position 2 to the upside on a Boeing. Bo. We don't want you to get nailed by that novice gap, my beautiful traders, okay? We're trying to protect you as much as possible. You got room on Boeing up to 219. 219 here on Boeing, all right? Above 219 with a retest, you have room up to 223. Mark that down. Back under the whip zone of 215.97, you're coming back to 214. Good morning, Wani Bravo. How are you? Kaya, yes. Hello, my Kaya. We got a little BAC, a little Bank of America. 60,000 taps. Let's get to 100, everybody. Can we get to 100,000 by 9 o'clock? Go. That's the goal. Can this dream team in here get to 100,000 by 9 o'clock? We are in a narrow state on Bank of America. We are in position 1 on Bank of America. 5-minute looks all right. On the 15-minute here, we have room up to 51.13. Let's pull this back here. Let me get the big picture on this for my Kaya. Kaya, do you drive a Kia? You have room up to 51.13, Kaya. Above 51.13 with a retest, you have room up to 51.50. Okay? Mark that down. Back under the whip zone of 50.57, you have room down to $50 whole number. Kate, what's that say? Kate the guy. How are you, Kate the guy? Kaya, do you drive a Kia? Caterpillar. I bet you she drives a Kia. Want to make a bet? Let's see if I'm right. Right now, we are in a narrow state on Caterpillar. We are in position 1 to the upside on Caterpillar. Bum. Is this Bitcoin? Yep. Bitcoin. She doesn't drive a Kia. All right, I was wrong. You have room up to 504. 504 here on Caterpillar, everybody. 504. Under the whip zone of 497.91. You're coming back to 490.50. Honda. No, Hyundai. All right, they're good cars. Hyundai to the moon. Yes. Good morning, Julissa. How are you, beautiful? Meta. We had a new VIP member started watching the videos over the weekend, and they wrote in the VIP, "This is some good stuff." Isn't it much better when you're not trading with blindfolds on? You're not trading with blindfolds on anymore. You actually know what the hell you're doing. We are in a neutral state, position 1 to the downside here on Meta. Let's pull this back. Let's go get you some support, all right? How's that? Let's go get you some support. We got a double bottom right here, 692. Mark that down. 692 on Meta. Let's go to our 5. Let's mark this out. Boom. Let's go to our 15-minute. All right, Here we go on Meta. We are in a neutral state, position 1 to the downside. Well, position 2. You got room down to 692 on Meta. 692 market, okay, Doy? Darwin, sorry. Above 717, you have room up to 720 and 722 on Meta. Alex Freeman, Ford. Are you trying to put us to sleep? All right, let's see. Ford Motor. You guys ever trade this? Especially when you were first starting out as a trader? How many of you have traded Ford? Hello, Hector. Welcome from Africa. Our thing is still trying to go. There we go. Ford. Whoa. Anyway, you trade Ford. You enter the trade. And by next year, you can get out of the trade. All right, you're not doing anything on Ford here, Alex. You are in a wide state on Ford to the upside. No. You are looking, Alex, to go down. All right? So you have room back down to 1250 here on Ford. 1250. Mark that down. You guys know what I'm... Jessica Montalvo. You guys know what I'm talking about with Ford, right? Have you ever traded it? I'm being serious. I got in that once, and I was like, never again. I was up like 8 cents. I said, get me out of this thing. I don't want to win on Ford. I would rather go to sleep. We are in a neutral state here on Oracle. We are in, whoa, wait a minute. What are you doing, boss? See, none of you, look at that. It was still good. We are in a neutral state on Oracle. Bearish neutral state. We are in position 2 to the upside on Oracle. All right, let's see, 1 hour. They're like, this guy's nuts. I am nuts, but I know what I'm doing. It's the non-nutty people you got to watch out for. All right, we have room up to 293 and 295 here on Oracle. You're in a bearish neutral state, so you'll be coming back on this. 50% retracements right around 290. 290 here on Oracle. Yeah. 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 I want to know who had that role in this song. All they had to do was say, yeah. Yeah. What else are we looking at, my beauties? Hello, Darwin. Good to see you. CLH, Gregory Hayes. Hello, my brother. Make sure we hit that follow button over there on the tubes. All right. As you can see, our YouTube is growing by leaps and bounds. We're almost at 8,000 followers already. And we just started that thing. CLH, we are in a neutral state. We are in the whip zone here on CLH. What's your name again? Gregory, watch that 200 under the whip zone, okay? Let's bring these back out. Want to be starting some. Back over 59.31. Gregory, you have room up to $60.75. $61 with a poke through, okay? Under, you got to get under 58.54, and you have room down to $56 on CLH. Remember, my beauties, this is not financial investment or tax advice. This is for education purposes only, and you must trade at your own risk. Netflix, let's do it, my beautiful traders. Remember, I am on here to help you as much as I can because I know what it feels like to not do good at this. We are in a neutral state. We are in the whip zone. Hey, SSJ, how are you, my man? We are in the whip zone. Let's put our levels in. Watch that 5-minute 200. We don't want to trade into that. We want to trade over that with a retest, right, traders? Right? How many of you used to trade into hold numbers before you met me? Well, first of all, how many of you even knew what a hold number was? Above 1158.54 with a retest, we'll have room up to 1168. 1168 here on Netflix, okay? Back under the whip zone of 1151. Get under the hold number. Excuse me, under the hold number. 1151. You have room back down to 1144. Katana Lim. Thank you for the shares, Katana Lim. Joe Trevelyan, Adorable Dad, Joe Trevelyan, Jules Swims, Marcus, Battle, OG Big Poppy, Chad, thank you for all those donations. Thank you so much, beautifuls. Thank you. Google, Yeah, Google we have on watch with AMD and MU. AMD and MU at the open, I have it on watch for a short, okay? Here on Google, we are in a narrow state. We are in position 1 to the downside. You have room down to 242.69 on Google. Mark that down, 242.69. Watch that 243 area. Whole number rejection, okay? Back over 246.66. You have room up to 247.61 on Google. If you're here for the first time, hit that follow button, my beautiful traders. We are on every day, Monday through Sunday. And of course, we have our VIP educational community. We are a real educational community. We actually teach you how to actually trade for real. No alerts, no live trading bullshit. We actually teach you how to trade, okay? You are going to head over to theVossTrading.com. or click the link in my YouTube or TikTok bio. It's $50 a month. That's it, folks, and you will get the education of a lifetime on how to trade. Davion with the popular Frosty Ducks. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nvidia. We are in a neutral state. We are in position 2 to the downside here on Nvidia. Let's mark these out, okay? Let me get rid of these from the other day. So I told you my niece is applying to schools, colleges, and she went and visited one. Remember I told you guys this story? And they teach people how to trade at this university. And my mother said to her, whatever they tell you, check with Uncle Kevin first. Right now, we are in a neutral state. We are in position 1 to the downside. You have room down to 183. I probably trained them. 183. Back over 188.42. You have room up to 190.34. 190.34. The last place, everybody, that I would learn how to trade would be in college. Would you? Because you know what the problem is here? That person that's teaching you isn't trading. Why aren't you trading? Why aren't you trading? You're in here teaching the class. You should be trading. Why aren't you trading? Am I right? I asked the good questions, everybody. Betcha with the autumn and the heartbeat. OMZ. Thank you. Sounds dangerous. I mean, it's just common sense again, It's that common sense thing, everybody. Rigetti Computing. All right, right now we are in a neutral state. We are in the whip zone on RGTI. Watch this pivot right here, okay? It's not a major one, so you don't have to worry about it, but just watch it. The ordinary. Yeah, you're coming back on this. All right, we are in a neutral state in the whip zone on RGTI. Under 38.78, you have room down to $35. Don't look at anything long. Have any F78 with the heartbeat? Have any of you yet talked to anyone, like strangers or family members, who asked questions about trading? Did you ask them what state they were in when they made a trade? Have you guys had conversations yet? What state was your stock in? What position? What event did you enter on? Do you know the markets? Forget the market cycle. They won't have a clue. Right now, we are in a neutral state. We are in the whip zone. Under 219, you have room down to 216.58. Above 221.58, you have room up to 224 on Amazon. I had one last night with my aunt. How did it go, Katana Lim? Where can you find legit courses? Right here, my brother. Right here. Link is in my bio. What else are we looking at? We are at 93,000 likes. 93,000. Good job, Raven. Good for you. Told me to learn from her mentor. I was like, no way. You need to learn from mine. I probably trained her mentor, MU. Or my mentor probably trained her mentor. MU, we are in a narrow state. We are up there in position 3. All right. So we got to be careful here. Look for the pullback on this. 194 and 193. I want you to mark those levels down. Those are key levels, okay? Key levels, everybody. Key levels. You're not chasing this to the upside, okay? At least I'm not. What else are we looking at? Yeah, AMD, look for the pullback. Tesla, you got it. Do me all night long. All right, Tesla, we are coming into this major resistance. Over 443 with a retest, you have room up to 452, okay? Back under 438.88, you have room back down to 430 here on Tesla. Under 422.97, you're coming back to 394 on Tesla. Thank you for the follows, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the love. Hello, Meat Daddy. How are you? Where is the facial blaster? Coin. Still want to know what that name's all about. The facial blaster. All right, right now we are in a narrow state on coin. We are in position 2 to the upside on coin. 390, 391, 392, okay? That's going to be major resistance to the upside. You're in a neutral state. You're in position 3. These whole numbers are major resistance, okay? Coming back down, look around 386 and 388. If you come back down to 388 and hold, you can look for another long, or 386 and hold, you can look for a possible long. Under 386 with a retest, you're coming back down to 381. Watch to the upside today. I wouldn't look this way. All right? Don't let it fake you out. Just be careful. The government shut down. Oh, my God. I forgot about that. Is that still a thing? The government shut down? NQ, you're in a wide state. You were looking this way, not that way. All right. Under this pivot, you have room down to 250, 225, 133. You can't change your name. The 8-figure goat. First of all, you're not an 8-figure goat. Number one, you are the facial blaster. You're the facial blaster, SMCI. Can't change his name. What the hell? How many names do you people got on these social media? Right now, we are in a neutral state. We are in position 2 to the upside on SMCI. 53.50 and 54. Where is it? There she is. $54 we got to watch out for here on SMCI. 54.50. Let me mark that out too. All right, let's pull this back here. All right, you're in a neutral state. You're in position 2. You have room up to 53.50. Okay, you got to get over that with a retest up to $54 and then $54.50. Then the party's over up there, okay? On the pullback right here, 50% retracement level. Look around $53 for a possible another long. Under $52.80 for a possible short. Back down to $52 on SMCI. Mark those down. Angela, get in that VIP. Our lady traders, we have a lot of them in there. A lot of them. And they do good stuff in there. QBTS, hot hands. Everyone, I want you to take your hands right now and blow on them. Hot hands is here. Blow on them, okay? Hot hands is in the house, everybody. Hello, hot hands. How are you? Who misses Tootsie? She just got back from vacation. We are in a neutral state. We are in position 1 to the downside here on QBTS. We don't have to worry about that pivot, okay? Where was that? There it is. All right, QBTS. We are in a neutral state, position 1 to the downside. You have room back down to 29.38. What I want you to do is wait for that 200 to catch up. Let this come down, retest 32.38, and then hammer that pig to the downside. 29.50 area, okay? Above 33.30 to the upside. 33.30, you have room up to $34 hold number. It's that simple. Hello, K. Braden. Tan Girl, what's up? Thank you for the heartbeat. We got one more rose goal to achieve. Are we ready, team? Are we ready, team? Together as a team, let's go hammer those roses. Give somebody you love a rose. Lucas Lobig, this is not NQ, no. It can be if you want me to go over it. Just ask, and I shall fulfill your wish. NQ, you got it. You got it, my NQers. All right, NQ, you are starting to get into this wide state. Anything this way is skeptical until we get a nice pullback down to 25,134, okay? Under 25,134, you have room down to 25,088. You need a pullback on this. You will get a pullback on this. Remember, this is not financial investment or tax advice. This is for education purposes only. Thank you for the follows, everybody. Thank you, Facial Blaster, for all of those roses. I appreciate you. How do you get, Angela wants to know how to get into the VIP. Here it is, sweetheart. You're going to head over to the Voss, theVossTrading.com. We can't say the word com. TheVossTrading.com. That is where you're going to go to get in the VIP, or just click the link in my YouTube or TikTok bio. AMD to the moon? No. Columbo. Don't do it until you get a nice pullback. Kevin with the follow. Thank you. Neo. We are in a narrow state. We are in the whip zone on NIO. Neo was his name-o. He is. See what I did there? Anybody? No? Maybe? Anyone with kids? I think so. I don't know. Maybe. Neo above 770. You got room up to 790. 790 and $8 on Neo, okay? Mark those down. Under 760, you have room back down to a whopping 743. How are you, my beautiful traders? Apple. Now remember, this is Monday, everybody. Let's start the week off. Don't go going to the moon on AMD or MU. We're not going to the moon, all right? So let's get some good trades in today. Let's be patient. Let's wait for our setups, and let's start the week off good, okay? Because we are still early in October. We are in a narrow state on Apple. We are in position 1. You have room up to 259 on Apple, 259. Under 257, you have room, under 257.35, you have room down to 257 on Apple, okay? We have MU and AMD on watch for a possible short at the open, and we have Google on watch as well because we are in that narrow state here on the Googaroonies, hanging around in position 1 to the downside. As soon as the rest of these MAs catch up, you will have room down to 242.69. So Google, AMD, and MU will be on watch. The white lines are the whip zone and our major support and resistance levels. PLTR, you got it. What did you guys have for breakfast this morning? Anybody have anything good? What the hell did I have for breakfast this morning? Oh, I had an egg sandwich. We are in a neutral state, position 1. We have room up to 180.44 and 182 on PLTR. Remember, you're in a neutral bearish state. Under 171.45, under the whip zone, you have room down to 169, but 169 is the golden goose. Under that, with a retest, you're coming back down to 161. Green eggs and ham. Oh, Rick. Come on, Rick. You got to do better, Rick. You got to do better than that. Chipotle, you got it. We could do some Chipotle. What's Chipotle's? CMG. All right, Chipotle, my man. Here we go. We are in a neutral state. We are in position 1 on Chipotle. You are neutral state, position 1, okay? All right, let's mark these beauties out. We are beautiful. All my beautiful people in here are beautiful, right? Aren't we beautiful? All right, here we go. Chipotle, you have room up to 42.26, 42.26, and 42.44 here on Chipotle. Above 42.44 with a retest, you have room up to $43. The only problem is you're in a neutral state right now, okay? Under 41.34, you have room back down to 40.26. I used to love Frosted Flakes growing up. I used to love Frosted Flakes. How many of you never, like, your mom would always get, like, the Raisin Bran and used to pick the raisins out? Was that the only one that did that? I had a friend that put orange juice in his cereal. Orange juice. I think I told you guys that once. I don't like orange juice at all. Not even to drink it regularly. AMD, we are in a neutral state here on AMD. We are way up there. All right, way up there. So let's do this for you. All right, let's do this for you, AMD. 25% retracement level is going to be around 210, and $200 will be your 50%. So just the only levels you need right now. When I trade with my money, it is a Cobra. Anyone here get the new iPhone 17 Pro Max? Anyone have it yet? Anyone using it? Good morning, my beauties. We still got 200 roses left on the board. You're welcome, Buns. You're waiting for it to be delivered. How do you like it, Insane? Is it good? Sandro with the rose. 11. Yes. Esther Lopez. Thank you. Returned it right away. Why? Why did he return a Katana Lamb? Which coin is this? This is the George Washington coin. He loves it. Great battery. That's what I heard. I heard great things. It's such a waiting list on it. Mine comes today. Yes. Yes, it is. How do you like it, Gurpreet Bhujan? Seems the same as my old phone 14. Well, you don't take pictures then. I don't either. AVGO. I got it for basically free. So, you know, I'm a high tier client with my wireless carrier. So I got it for free. iPhone 17 Pro Max. You want it for free? Okay. We are in a neutral state. And they paid off 6 months on my last phone. So I didn't even have to pay that off. We are in a neutral state. We got room down to, we are, let's start this again. We are in a neutral state. We are in position 2 to the downside on AVGO. Watch that 200 right there, okay? My wife's like, why'd you get the new one? Well, they're paying off my other phone, and it's free. Oh, am I going to say no? All right, here we go. You have room down to 325 on AVGO. 325, okay? Back over 333 with a retest, you have room up to 335. Over 335 with a retest, you're coming back to 337. I got the blue one. You know, that orange one, I really liked it, but I would stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? No matter where I went, they'd be like, there's that guy with that orange phone again. I liked the orange, but everyone was like, you can't get orange. You can't get orange. You can't get orange. So I didn't get orange. I fell for the peer pressure. All right, let's do roll call, everybody. Finish those roses off, my beauties. Roll call. This is always fun. You ready? Are we ready? Let's get Harry Styles off here. He's depressing me. All right, let's do this. Let's go to this one too, right here. All right, a little Luke Combs, baby. A little looky. User Shelly Galvin. Powder Facial Blaster Midwest JDM. Marcus Shelley Stringer. Cameron Shelley Galvin again. I got to get a new mouse. Hammer Sue Felicia, Mr. Dave, Mighty, E.L. Candy, Jessica Pilach. Who just did that money gun? Lino Rocha, Jules, Sandra Pepe, 11, Jess, Sandra D, Esther Lopez, Shelly Galvin. This mouse is all jacked up here. Kay Braden, Esther Lopez, OMZ, Guppreet is on fire. Jules Swims, Palo. Thank you. April Stapleton, Bayi, Rash, Measy, the doctor. Thank you, everyone, for all those amazing donations. What's up, Jess? How are you, my Jess? Mr. Dave over there on the tubes holding down the fort. We had a lot of people on YouTube this morning. Holy moly. They know now. Remember when we first started streaming on YouTube? This guy don't know nothing. And now they're like, hi, Voss. How are you, my best friend? Can you help me with... Yes, the VIP is open, everybody. The VIP. You're going to head over to thevosstrading.com. We're going to close this up soon because we have a lot of people in there. So I like to close it for a little while. But it's open right now. thevosstrading.com. All right? We will be back on tomorrow morning. VIPers, we'll see you in the chat here in about 5 minutes. I love you all so much. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for being here. I hope we're helping you. That's the goal, okay? Make sure you follow us so you know when I come on. And have a great day, everybody. Give somebody a hug and be kind today. Love you, love you, love you.